Hi, this is Paris from Epic Tech Reviews and doing a little historical reviewing today. I'm going to be retiring my original sound system that I bought for my first computer that I built. I think it was back in 1998, so 14 years ago. And you would think, well, it's not very remarkable. It's just a subwoofer and a couple speakers, but let me show you why you might think this is kind of unusual and worthy of putting in the archive, just to see who made these speakers. Well, rather, who branded them. I think they're actually made by Phillips, but these are Microsoft. Microsoft subwoofer and Microsoft speakers. This is the Digital Sound System 80, DSS80, that Microsoft offered back in the late 90s. It originally sold, I think, for $199. I got mine for either $99 or $49. I can't remember if it was half or quarter of the price, but it was already, at the time I bought it, I think they'd already stopped production. And that was back when you bought everything at buy.com before Newegg. So they were discontinuing it and trying to get rid of it, and so it was on sale. It's now a Smithsonian type item. It was a very good sound system. I used it for a long time, but in the past few months the subwoofer's blown, I guess, because I'm getting that blat, blat, blat whenever it does any low notes. And I could have it repaired, but it's so inexpensive now to buy a nice simple system with a subwoofer and a couple speakers. I've done that instead. So this is going away to Goodwill. They can put it in their computer museum, or maybe they want to fix it, whatever they'd like to do with it. But I just wanted to show it, and in case you happen to have one, or you've fallen into one, you've inherited one from someone and it still works, just to give you the general rundown on it. Subwoofer is nice, it's pretty heavy. On the back is the power plug. That's pretty simple. It's fairly standard. You see this type on the back of a lot of printers. And on the other side, where all the action happens, we've got, and this is the reason Microsoft actually made this, was to promote this type of audio with the USB. You can see the USB connector over here, and you could plug this speaker in with a USB cable, and there's basically sound card electronics built into this, so that you didn't need to have a sound card in your computer. If you did have the sound card, though, a nicer one than what this provided with its sound, you want to use it. Over on the other side here, we've got a spot where you could plug in your regular cord from your sound card. And then in the middle are the connectors that go to the speakers. Oh, this is heavy. Let me show you these. Okay, we've got the Microsoft name there. If only it would focus, yeah. And on top you've got buttons. Buttons for mute, buttons for left-right balance, and buttons for volume up and down. It is so nice to have a mute button on speaker, because somebody calls or whatever, you want to stop that sound right away, just hit the mute button, hit it again to undo it. It was so handy. My new speakers that I'm using don't have that. Have to do it in software. And so the cables that come out of the back of these two, they don't connect to each other and then to the subwoofer like some systems do. I've got a little mess of cables here. You have two types of connectors, because one speaker has the volume control and so forth. The other one's more just slaves off of the subwoofer. So you got the two connectors, and those match up in the subwoofer. You really can't go wrong plugging it in. There's only one place you can put the things. Sound is very good. I used it. I don't do audiophile music, but for gaming it's been great, and for playing things from online music streaming it's been very good. If the subwoofer hadn't blown out, then I'm sure I would still be using it. I looked on eBay thinking maybe I could get one and disassemble it, but I decided against that. There are a few of these for sale on eBay, but again, mostly they've had some problem, that's why the people are selling them. But if you do happen to have a chance to pick one up that still works for $5 or $10, it's a great speaker system. They created this USB speaker system to help promote the USB adoption. Remember, this was back Windows 98 2nd edition, and also to encourage multimedia, which they they had their media player and different things in that version of Windows. They wanted people to experience and more, use the computer for more things. Sort of like Sierra Online, who made tons of video games, and back around that same time period they actually made video cards. And you would never hear that name now. They though were trying to promote gaming, and so their games required a little more oomph than what most people had graphically. And so they were selling, the video game company itself was manufacturing and selling video cards so that more people could play their games. So this was how things were done back then. It wasn't that unusual, but it's something you probably won't see again as Microsoft making its own speaker system.